everyone, this is Tula with Key Wellness, and in this video we are going to troubleshoot the manifestation process. At this point, I've walked you through all of the explanations of how manifestation works. We covered the science behind it, the physics, the quantum field, energy, vibration, Tesla, Einstein, and what that all means for you and how you tap into that in order to manifest into your life those things which you want. And so now you have a basic underlying understanding of how it works from a scientific perspective and from an energetic perspective, spiritual perspective as well. We also covered some of the nuts and bolts and how to actually put this into practice. However, very rarely does someone actually delve into this and begin to manifest what they want without a hitch. There are a lot of obstacles, particularly at this day and age, to someone who wants to manifest, the first obstacle being simply accessing the quantum field. Now, why should that be a problem? If manifesting and accessing the quantum field is something that is inherent in all of us by nature of being a human being, then it should be second nature to access the quantum field. And normally it is. However, I did state that in this day and age, it's a challenge, and here is why. As we discussed, accessing the quantum field is done via your electromagnetic energy. So it's a bioelectrical process, and that bioelectrical process is based upon a biochemical makeup within your body. So if the biochemical makeup of your body is not in balance, you will not have the foundation upon which to build or create or spark the bioelectrical process. It's like trying to operate a flashlight that has a battery inside that is corroded. So here's what I mean by that. You have three main centers in your body from which the electromagnetic field is generated. You have your brain, which most are familiar with. Then there's the heart. I've mentioned that as well. In addition, there is your gut. All three centers need to be functioning correctly in order to generate the electromagnetic field that enables you to generate the correct frequency for connecting with the quantum field. Imagine trying to run a marathon when you can't breathe properly, or you haven't eaten and you don't have the fuel in your body. It is the same thing. When you are trying to connect with the quantum and you're trying to generate an electromagnetic frequency, you need to have your body functioning in such a way that it is capable of producing that frequency. If there is a biological, chemical, electrical, or electromagnetic imbalance in your body, you will not be able to produce the energy field conducive to manifesting. Don't forget, since this is an innate skill, then it is based upon the premise that the human body is functioning the way it's supposed to. If the human body is not functioning the way it's supposed to, then those innate skills will be impeded. This means that there's a wide variety of things that can interfere with your ability to connect with the quantum and therefore to manifest that which you want. We said it's a biochemical and electromagnetic process. So that means anything that could affect your body's energy field, whether it's electric, magnetic, biological, or chemical, all will result in the body being imbalanced and therefore not be able to function at its optimum. And manifesting is most definitely a skill that requires your body be functioning at the optimum. So what types of things are we talking about here that could have that kind of impact on your body? Let's start with the brain. The brain, of course, is electromagnetic. Its main functioning is neurological, a lot of electrical impulses, right? So obviously anything that would affect the electrical impulses in the brain therefore the chemistry behind those electrical impulses. So first of all, just the impulse itself. That is a result of your thoughts. Thoughts are generated by the electrical impulses. So if you are thinking negative thoughts, you are not thinking high quality, high frequency thoughts, then the electrical impulses that you are putting out are going to be low frequency, not a match for what it is you're wanting to manifest. So a lot of people think that they can just make themselves feel good in the moment. That is not going to work. You can't fool the quantum. A match is a match and a mismatch is a mismatch. So let's just take someone whose motives are selfishly generated. You cannot lie to your subconscious that what you're doing is selfishly motivated. You cannot lie to your subconscious about where you're coming from. It is aware of that. And selfishness is a low frequency. It's based on a lack mentality. So if you are at that lack mentality, which results in selfish motives, that means you're at a low frequency. That means what you're sending out is low frequency, and what you will get back will also be low frequency. So that's an example of thoughts and emotions. The next could be what affects the chemistry. Well, again, brain impulses are electrical. What if you're sitting in some place where you are being bombarded by electrical signals that are at the completely wrong frequency? Well, we already know how frequency is a wave, and that waves are affected by the other waves around them. So if you are trying to generate within your brain a wave of a specific frequency, but you're bombarded with waves of a different counterproductive frequency, you're going to have a mismatch frequency-wise due to your environment, and that is going to interfere with your manifesting. An example of this could very simply be dirty electricity. Okay, let's talk about electromagnetism. That could also interfere because what you're sending out is an electromagnetic signal. But what if you are sitting under a 5G tower? Again, your signal is going to get squashed by the output of that 5G tower. Also speaking to the electrical balance of your body, if you are highly charged, you spend your whole day around electronics, you don't get outdoors, you don't ground, you don't actually have direct contact with the earth. Remember, we're talking about the human body in its natural state. It is not the natural state to be on the 15th floor of a high-rise tower surrounded by cement and nowhere near the earth. So if that's your environment and you don't break away from that and get in contact with the planet, you will not be at the right electromagnetic frequency for manifesting. Let's go a little bit deeper now. Let's talk about the chemical processes in your body. These chemical processes that affect your gut, that affect your heart. What if you don't have the right balance of magnesium, potassium, and sodium? Your heart cannot function the way it's supposed to, but yet you want to have it to resonate at a specific frequency. You're not going to be able to do that with a heart that isn't even functioning at its optimal. Are you exercising? Is your body healthy? Or are you stressed because you never meditate? These things will not only separate and isolate you from your roots in the planet, they will also allow your body to build up stress hormones and knock you out of balance chemically. Therefore, your heart and your gut will not function as it should. Are you diseased in any way? Before you can manifest for wealth, you would do better to manifest for health. Because until your body is functioning at its optimum, you will run into obstacles when you're trying to manifest for something else. So that's basic body chemistry, body processes, and what might interfere with your body being able to function the way it was designed to function, which includes being able to access the quantum. But there are also mental processes. And in an earlier video in this series, I talked about limiting beliefs. And the example I gave is that a lot of people have a limiting belief when it comes to finances. But let's talk about some others. What about the I don't deserve, or I'm not a great person, or nobody likes me type of limiting belief? These all fall into the worthy category. I'm not worthy. That's a limiting belief that will cause your subconscious mind to stay stuck in a place where, even though you are wanting to manifest something, your subconscious mind cannot make the connection because it does not feel you are worthy. Another example is going to be religious dogma. This may not be something that a lot of people want to hear. However, the reality is that religious dogma will keep you from accessing the quantum. First of all, many religions teach that you need the religion or a religious figure or a religious ceremony in order to access, quote unquote, God, which is just another name for the quantum. Other religions preach that it is evil, wrong, demonic, your choice of words here, to try to call upon, quote unquote, dark powers or witchcraft and things of this sort. Now, I could get into the history of religion and arguably an intentional effort to separate the masses from accessing this power, but that's not a discussion for this video. But suffice it to say, if you are of a particular religious persuasion that, number one, teaches you yourself are not worthy to access, and you yourself do not have sovereignty, and you yourself cannot make these things happen, it doesn't matter how much you tell yourself you can. Your subconscious has been programmed to believe it cannot. The same is true if you believe that it's evil or wrong or demonic or witchcraft or anything like that. You will suffer from cognitive dissonance when it comes to trying to manifest, and your subconscious, which is carrying all of those messages which have been imprinted in you throughout your life, your subconscious will win that battle no matter how much your conscious mind wants to make it happen. When this is the case, as it so often is in a religious society, a person is going to have to undergo some sort of deprogramming type of experience. Sometimes it can take the form of hypnosis and working through these things. Sometimes it's just an experience brought on by life itself, such as a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience or some other type of traumatic experience that brings the person to a place of awakening when they realize that this source, this power, the universe, God, is available to each and every one of us in a very direct and personal way. While there are many other ways that your ability to manifest can be severely compromised, I'll just touch on one more that is also very common, and that is, what are you putting into your mind? Now, we talked a little bit about the chemistry, the biology. What are you putting into your body? And that's toxins, whether you're showering in public water supplies that are full of halides, or whether you're eating genetically modified, quote unquote, food, or you are consuming alcohol, or you have a very high acidic diet. Any one of these things will throw off your body balance. But you're also consuming and ingesting information. And what is that doing to your body? Are you getting a daily dose of violence, horror, and trauma every evening when you watch the news, or in the morning while you're getting ready for work via the radio that's blasting? Are you driving to work and honking in traffic and looking at all the chaos around you as you sit there stressing with some kind of very aggressive, negative, even shouting violence or other hateful, antisocial messaging? What about the movies that you frequent, or video games, or social media? If you are regularly exposing yourself to hateful messages and participating in hateful banter with other human beings, you are isolating yourself when the whole purpose of accessing the quantum is to be unified. Another name for the quantum is the unified field. Why is it unified? I haven't gotten into this in the science. It's rather complex, but basically everything came from one essence. This belief or illusion of separation is just that. It is an illusion. And we are actually all one, all unified. So when you are participating in a mindset of hate, separation, differences, us versus them, whether it's political or religious or national or gender-based, whatever it is, that intolerance, that inability to have empathy and to see yourself in the other is anything but unity-minded, and the quantum is about unity. If you are of a separation mindset, or even worse, hate or violence based on separation, that will prevent you from accessing the quantum and most certainly will put you at a frequency that precludes your ability to manifest what you want. In fact, it can have the exact opposite and cause you to put your body in a state of dis-ease or disease, because it is not inherent, it is not the natural state for the human being to be separate and to have hatred toward other human beings. In fact, if you look at how other animals live, they don't do that. It's unique to the human, and it is a bastardization of what we are supposed to be by our very nature, and it has been imposed on us and programmed into us through the messaging of the media, such as music, the news, TV, video games, social media. These are all things that are bombarding you with messaging that is counter to your nature. And when you absorb that and it becomes part of your makeup, you are literally separating yourself from your innate abilities, what you truly are at your core essence. And this will prevent you from interacting with and manifesting from the quantum field. Again, the universe cannot be fooled. And for those of you that are Christian, it's just like saying God will not be mocked. And if you listen to this messaging, it should sound hauntingly familiar to that of the message of the Christ Jesus. Whole nother thing, but within this area of consciousness, there is something that is called Christ consciousness, which is based on and in sync with the teachings of Jesus. So while a lot of people think that this spiritual, scientific approach to manifesting is counter to their religion, that's actually not the case, but that again is for another video. The fact of the matter is, no matter how you come at this, as long as you claim your personal sovereignty and understand what you were meant to be and meant to do, and that is a co-creator in a good reality. Again, that goes back to the book of Genesis, talking about stewarding the earth. However you want to look at that, it is the same. But the main difference is that you are sovereign, and you can directly interact with the quantum and co-create a reality that is good and beneficial for humanity as a whole. So thank you for listening to today's podcast, wishing you all the success and the ability to manifest your best life ever. This is Tula signing out. Have a great day.